Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to you and you and you and you and you. Thanks for joining me again. Today we are looking at some retro gaming stuff. Yes, I am very excited. I don't have a large collection, but I do have some very interesting things. I'll show you my favorites. Since we're doing retro gaming, I am wearing my Atari hat here. It's a really cute hat. I love the checkers. I'm also wearing some Sonic bracelets. Do you consider Sonic the Hedgehog as retro yet? Classic Sonic. I think he came out in 1991. Is that retro to you? I have Sonic, Amy, got Shadow, Knuckles. Where's the last one? Where's the last one? There we go. And we also have Tails. Okay. I think I do consider the classic Sonic stuff retro for sure. It's been over 30 years, right? It's crazy. Okay, so the first thing I am showing off, probably what people think is the coolest, is the original Game Boy here. Mine is in pretty rough condition, I will not lie. But it still works perfectly fine. That's how a lot of Nintendo products are, is they last forever. This Game Boy obviously changed the world, but it is so heavy. You got 4 batteries in there, or you could charge it with a wired charger, which I don't have anymore. So I just have batteries in here. And currently inside the Game Boy, I have my favorite Game Boy game here. Super Mario Land. This is one of the most iconic Mario games ever. Timeless game. It's a timeless game, timeless game, timeless game. I love this art style here on the cartridge. Super cool. I'm assuming you would like to see the Game Boy turn on as well. So let's go ahead and slide this game back in here. So you do just have that on and off switch right on the top of the Game Boy here. Go ahead, toggle that. Yes, let's start. Super classic. Let's turn the volume down here. It's making a little electric buzzing noise. I hope that's normal. But eventually I would like to do a video on my other channel, my non-ASMR channel, playing through some of these games. But I am excited to show you some of the other Game Boy games that I have, because I love Mario Land and it's definitely one of my favorites, but there's some other good ones too. So let me show you here. So I have a fat stack of Game Boy games here, but these two are so good. I highly recommend it. So this first one here, I'm sure a lot of you know this game, know this franchise. We get it out of the case. This game has an amazing soundtrack, one of my favorite gaming soundtracks ever. It's Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Belmont's Revenge. I can already hear the music playing in my head. By the way, that Game Boy and majority of these games, my father bought them when he lived in Japan. And he bought them in Akihabara, I'm pretty sure. So, straight from the source. My dad lived in Japan for over a decade, and that's also where he met my mother. They had my brother and I in Japan, and then we moved over to the US in the early 2000s. But while my dad lived there, he did buy some interesting things, such as Nintendo products like these. I didn't steal it from him, he gave them to me. He didn't really have a use for them anymore, so I appreciate it. But Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Have you played this game before? Now let me show you this other game that I showed off briefly earlier. This one is a little bit more rare, I would think. I would be very surprised if you know this game. It's a very, very great game though. It's very vaporwave style. It's called Quix. Quix, Quix. Quix, Quix, Quix. a puzzle game. It gets harder and harder as you go. It's also really funny because you see the cover art for all these games and you think, wow, that must look amazing. And they are great games. But the actual game is nothing like this drawing. I think the late 80s, early 90s was a very dramatic time period for us, you know? Had a little flair to everything. I love it though. Quix, 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 Quix. Yeah, if you know this game, let me know. Gold star for you. I have never met anyone who knows this game. These are some games that I think are a lot more well known here. We have Dr. Mario. This Dr. Mario is so much fun, and the music is so great too. It's just a lot of fun. Dr. Mario, Dr. Mario, Dr. Mario, Dr. Mario. Another one that everybody knows, Tetris. Tetris, Tetris. Tetris, 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 Tetris. I'll definitely take that out of the case here to show you the art because it is beautiful. And then we also have Nemesis. Nemesis, Nemesis, Nemesis 2. Nemesis 2. Nemesis 2. Nemesis 2. Nemesis 2. This is a Konami game. I don't think this game is super well known either, but it's a lot of fun as well. This one is very action-packed. Lots of action. Love it. Love it. So the Tetris here. This is the way I practiced my Tetris skills, was on the Game Boy. Now I play it on the Switch, but this is what that cartridge looks like. Beautiful red against the dark blue. I love this art. It's so pretty. The Game Boy version Tetris is just as fun as any other Tetris you play. It's just such a classic game. It's already got the rules established. Very easy puzzle game to get into. Great game, great game. And I also want to show off the cover art for Nemesis, another beautiful one. It doesn't want to come out. Come on. There we go. Okay, right. Nemesis, Nemesis 2, Nemesis 2. I love the space art that we had in the 80s. It's really, really unique. So interesting. I said 80s, but this is actually from 1991. That's close enough, right? Nemesis, 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 Konami, 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 Nemesis, 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 Nemesis. I distinctly remember this game starting off in a very, very dramatic scene where this huge, huge spaceship, I think, is after you. And you're just a tiny little ship. I can hear the music for this one just starting in my head as well. So good. I think I'm going to skip my weird minor Game Boy games. Maybe save that for something else. Something where people are a little more into niche stuff. But don't worry, I have more than just Game Boy stuff today. I also have here Galaga. Ooh, do you hear the sound of this cartridge? The NES cartridge sounds way different from the Game Boy cartridges. If you can't already tell, I am a big Nintendo fan. I am also into Atari and Sega as well, though. I just like gaming stuff in general, really. I'm a big gamer. So, Galaga. Everybody knows Galaga. I actually remember when I bought this cartridge, it was really expensive compared to other old gaming stuff. So crazy. It's crazy to me. Look how big this cartridge is. It's so big. We have come so far where we have at-home consoles that you don't even need cartridges for, and if you do get a cartridge, it might be super small. This is crazy. But there's also something about big cartridges. It's very collectible. It's a lot of fun. You really feel like you own something, you know? Galaga. Bandai, 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 Bandai. Galaga, though, is a lot more fun, I think, to play on an actual arcade machine rather than an at-home console. Just personal opinion. Still a very, very cool game to have. Now, if you know these games, I love you. These are very well known, though. In Japan, it's way more popular. In the US, though, I think it is picking up in popularity. The Dragon Quest games. This is for the Super Famicom. These are both the Japanese versions. We have Dragon Quest V, my favorite Dragon Quest game of all time. The story is amazing. The story is actually really heartfelt. I cannot recommend Dragon Quest V enough. I also had Dragon Quest V on the DS when they did the DS remake. The remake is also so good. So good. If you ever get a chance to play it, please play it. But we got Dragon Quest V. And then we have Dragon Quest VI. I really enjoy Dragon Quest VI as well. It's a really unique one. There's a couple different, almost like dimensions or versions of the world. There's like an upper level version and a lower level version, but the worlds are mirrored, so you see doubles of some of the characters, but they're different. They might have different personalities. I will say some of the characters in Dragon Quest VI have a lot of personality, which makes it really fun to play through. The protagonist is the blue-haired young man here in the center. I was also going to say the protagonist for this one is the gentleman with the purple turban here. Dragon Quest V, though, you start off as a kid, and so you feel like you grow up with the protagonist. It's so good. Okay. Now that I think of it, the music composer for Dragon Quest, I believe he passed away a few years ago, and Toriyama Akira, the amazing man who did Dragon Ball, Dr. Slump, and also did the art for Dragon Quest, he also passed away recently, so that's sad. They've both passed away. Man. I will say this game is probably my #1 game in my entire life. It's so good, so good. I'm about to cry right now. Just thinking about how people who have worked on this game have already moved on. What's also interesting to see regarding these cartridges is on the top here it says NX, 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 NX. I'm sure you've heard of Square Enix, right? I don't know, maybe you already know all this. But NX and Square were different gaming companies. Square did Final Fantasy, and NX did Dragon Quest. But they were heavily competing with each other constantly. Dragon Quest is huge in Japan, and Final Fantasy is super big as well. But the two companies decided to actually come together instead and work together rather than competing against each other. So they became Square Enix. But since I am a nerd, I love seeing just the NX here. Makes it so much more interesting, you know? Just the story behind it all. Dragon Quest V, Dragon Quest V. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with this game and how much I loved it. I would play Dragon Quest V songs on the piano. I constantly listen to the soundtrack. I have game guidebooks on this just so I can look at the pictures. Well, I think that is everything that I want to show you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what games give you the biggest feeling of nostalgia. Let me know if you recognized any of these games too. I actually apologize for really dorking out and yapping at the end there. It's my passion, so I go a little bit crazy. I hope to see you in the next video. I hope you feel a little more relaxed. Have a great night.